Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Edge Market Update for the close after September 29th, 2023. And we had a pretty volatile day here in the Board of Trade with the September USDA quarterly stocks report that was released before lunchtime. And corn stocks went lower than expected compared to the trade estimates and were slightly bullish. But corn also sold off on the day. Soybeans were slightly higher than expected and a little bearish number coming in, and beans really took it on the chin. But the big commodity that got hurt was wheat. The USDA shocked the markets by increasing the U.S. spring wheat yield by 10%, despite historically low crop ratings in August, and that caused a bunch of selling across the pits and a lot of weakness in all the grains. So definitely a bearish tone today to market prices. And the other headwind that we have currently in commodities is that the federal government may shut down on October 1st if there's no budget agreement between both sides. And the problem with the grain trade is that we've had a bunch of bearish price action recently, and without the government being open, the USDA will likely have to delay the October crop report, which was expected to have some lower yields in there, and that may delay some bullish price action potentially, causing prices to remain lower for longer than usual during the October period when prices do typically rally. So we will see what happens. Hopefully the government can come to an agreement and keep things open so that the funds have some bullish news to trade, hopefully, in that October crop report. Starting off with new crop corn on the December contract, we closed the day at $4.77 a bushel, down about 12 cents. This week we did break out of this long-term downtrend, and we tested $4.90 resistance. Today we also hit $4.90, but after that report was released, we gradually sold off and actually closed back below the 9 and 20-day moving averages. So big support level probably going to test next week is this 473 level right here. Really want to see this hold next week. I know we made a low at 467 last week, but really do not want to see it close next week below that level, or else we could be in danger of heading towards new lows. Resistance again 490 currently. Also have the 50-day moving average at 493 above there. So hopefully we can potentially get some bullish news somewhere in these markets to turn things around, but we will just have to be patient for that. Had quite a bit of volume, selling volume today on report day. Strength indicators, we still remain in a long-term positive divergence here, but we do have some, we are coming back below this neutral line and could potentially test this upward trend line next week. Hopefully that would hold, and that would be a good sign for underlying strength of this market. Money flows, we were actually overbought this week, but we are, with that bearish close today, quickly back off of that overbought level there. Long-term momentum still slowly churning positively here. We're still in negative territory below this neutral line, but we are still trending higher slowly but surely. So again, next week would really expect probably a test of this 473 level, and hopefully that can hold and we can bounce and potentially get back up to 490 or so in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Moving on to November soybeans, this grain got hit harder today in the report. We closed 25 cents lower on the day at $12.75 a bushel. So we're about $1 below our crop insurance guarantee now, as we will start tracking that for the harvest price starting on Monday. But we did close the week at a fresh new low within the past couple of months at $12.75. Last week's low was $12.84. This prior low is $12.82. So we did close below that. I do expect a test of that $12.60 to $12.55 area sometime in the next week or two. That is pretty long range support. So as everybody's hauling their soybeans into the elevator, just know that in the longer range from October, the beginning of October to middle to late June, this is the long-term support level where we're at right now. Prices are pretty currently weak. So just take that into consideration as you are debating whether or not to sell your grain or to keep it in storage. But would expect a test of this 1255, 1260 level on futures next week. Short-term resistance, we have to get back above $13 to start. That's a 9-day moving average. We tested it several times this week, but could not manage to get a daily close above that. Above there would be that 1310 to 1320 area, where we would start challenging some other near-term resistance. But the big thing next week is if we do test this lower range, really want to see that hold, or else we really could see the bottom of this market fall out here. So hopefully that will hold as good support. Strength indicators, we still have negative divergence. It looked like this week we were testing this negative trend line and we could have potentially broken out on a nice report today, but that wasn't the plan, and we are currently heading back down to a weaker reading on strength indicators. Same thing with money flows. Money flows were coming back to a neutral reading, but today's bearish close sent these back lower. And long-term momentum still remains in a pretty solid downtrend. We are now below the neutral line. We had a high in August, a secondary high in the beginning of September, and now we have come back down. So really we need some, hopefully the government will not shut down. We can get this October crop report out. Hopefully it has some bullish numbers and we can get prices back to more profitable levels here. But again, we will start tracking the harvest price for corn and soybeans starting on Monday, taking the average daily close of the futures contract through the month of October, and we'll have our official harvest price on November 1st. Corn is pretty far below the spring price guarantee. We're about 20% below, so there is a pretty good likelihood that as of right now, there could be some revenue payments just based on price with corn policies. So that will be important to watch as we continue harvest. If you think you're close to your APHs or even below on corn, probably worth a conversation and to call us to go over what your revenue guarantees are to figure out whether or not we need to submit a claim. But other than that, we want to wish everybody a safe harvest. Hope you guys have good yields. And if you have any questions or concerns, please call us anytime. Thank you for your business and have a great weekend.